Today is Sunday and it feels like one of those proper lazy Sundays. It's not cold, it has been raining a lot overnight, and it's not even that dark today, although I can see rain clouds moving in, which is nice because I've been able to get some of the windows open. Today feels like a repairing things today, and I have several things that need finalising. They're all projects that have been started and I haven't quite managed to work out how to finish them properly. One of them is not so long ago I made a video about me trying to fix the drawer underneath my bed. The wheel, one of the wheels, the slider wheels, broke, and I was trying to work out how to do it, and in the end I decided to take the wheel down to my parents. My dad has a lot of tools, he's engineering minded. I had in my mind how I needed to fix this wheel, but I didn't have the tools, like a drill, things like that. So my dad has helped me. We've managed to drill out the middle of the stud that was holding this wheel to the rail. He's drilled out the middle, so we've kept the original stud, and we have added a screw to the middle of that and some washers to give it the space to move about. So even now when that's tight and hard screwed in, it will still move on the rail. We're not sure how flush, I hope you can see that, how flush that screw needs to be, so he's given me a more of a flat head as well, so I'm going to see which one works. So first thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to try and fit this new wheel. Fingers crossed, we'll see how I get on with that. I'll be back in a minute. And I'm back. One bed, divan, drawer, wheel fixed. Worked fine. I just needed the right tools to do it. I had in my mind how it would work, but my dad has the tools and enjoys, like me, enjoys fixing things rather than buying new things. All my childhood I can remember my dad fixing stuff, you know, putting up new fences in the garden, fixing the car, head under the bonnet on a Sunday afternoon. The usual things that many of us who grew up in a certain era will remember. I mean, if you have a modern car, you can't put your head under the bonnet and do anything more than check the oil and the water. And I miss those days of car tinkering. I've had cars that you could easily tinker with. So that is that one's success. Now I need to move on to two other fixes which are ongoing, which I will show you now. Right, my next fix is shoes and boots. So earlier this year I fixed my trusty walking boots. These were my £9 purchase second hand off of eBay, which I've had for several years now. I did a fix at the beginning or earlier in the year at the front, where this sole had come away from the shoe. That fix is holding up really well, but unfortunately while I was away walking I did the ultimate bad thing when I was taking my boots off at the end of the day of not undoing the laces enough and putting my toe on the heel of the boot to pull it off, and now I have this, but it's on, I think it's on both boots. Actually, this one doesn't seem to be as bad. Anyway, so it's ripped at the back and it's ripped at the sides. So I still have a little bit of my Wilko's epoxy glue left, not much, and of course Wilko's is gone. So I went online onto eBay and I've bought a load of little mini tubes. So first of all, I am going to glue inside there to stick these two bits together, and then I'm going to run a new glue layer around all of this to make sure that it's fully sealed in, and then hopefully this will hold. I'm hoping I could get another year out of these boots before I ultimately need to get rid of them and get a new pair. They're not going to last forever. I mean, they're knackered anyway, look at them. There's but as I say, I don't even think there's a brand on these. I don't even know what they are. They're so old. The label has worn off. Oh, they're high-tech. high-tech walking boots, but I love these. They're really comfortable, and I really struggle to find shoes that I find really comfortable. I don't like buying brand new shoes because I hate breaking them in. My feet are really fussy. I like a nice wide fit. I don't like a pointy toe. My feet are not up for it. I didn't spend half of my 20s in heels just to then put up with it. So first thing I'm going to do is get these soles stuck back in place, and then I'm going to do the glue run. So let's get on with that. Okay, so that's the boot fixed that needed the whole sole stuck together. What I've done, I've glued inside where the heel meets the shoe, and I'm going to leave that to cure for a bit. I've put a table leg, like a stool leg, inside the heel to push it down, and I put some weights on top. So I'm just going to leave that for a bit. And while that's doing, I can get going resealing the edge of the other boot. The heel actually is okay on this one. I just need to run a glue layer all the way around. I've tried to clean this up a bit, but frankly I am a little bit sloppy. So I'm hoping that it'll just seal itself. So what I'm going to do is run an epoxy glue layer down inside the gaps that have appeared where the sole should meet the shoe. I'm just going to fill in along there and allow that to go off, and then I'm just going to do what I did with the other bit and just slather it all over the top. These are walking boots. These are not pretty boots. They are a working boot, and I'm just trying to get that last bit of extra life out of them. So I'm going to make up some epoxy from this new batch that I've got. The old one is now finished, and that Wilko epoxy glue was good. That's a good glue, and I do quite like Wilko products, so I'm really sad that we're going to lose our Wilkos, because I preferred them to all the other little cheap retailers. They seem to do a really good job. This resin, which I got off of eBay, I got you get 4 of these, and it was about £6, which actually works out cheaper than the Wilko one, which is about £7 for the 2 tubes. Of course the tubes are smaller, but if I can only have to use smaller amounts in one go, that's better than having tubes open for months and months and months. It comes with a tiny little spatula, which might actually be really good for just getting in right inside these little areas here. So I'm going to batch up some of this with this, mix it together, and then we're going to do a repair on this boot. So I'm going to get going with that one. Stinks. Good stuff. Okay, that's the first glue layer done on that boot. I'm just going to let that go off and see what happens with that. I hope this glue works. Comparably, it was a bit cheaper than the Wilko one, but I'm hoping it will be okay. Yeah, I'm just going to let that sit for a bit to get that glue in between those layers, and then I'll seal all the way around the outside when it's dry. So I'm going to let that dry with the other one. Okay, I have another job. Let's go and find that. My other job is that you may remember a while ago I put new soles on my favourite shoes. These soles have been great. They've stuck, they've stayed, but I never got round to properly finishing the outside edge. As you can see, I never fully stuck it on, so I need to get on with that. The problem was that the glue I used, which theoretically was fine, wasn't a hardcore glue. And what I didn't realise is that when I go out in the rain, the glue on some of this turns white and goes soft. So it's almost like a kid's glue, I suppose. It's a washable glue. And it looks horrible. So what I've done, most of it's fine, but I do want to seal these edges properly. So what I've done is I looked online, and you can buy black rubber glue. Bought a small tube because what I want is just to finish off the edge in the matching colour so that it makes the shoes just generally look a bit tidier. So I've bought this one. It's called Storm Shore, and you can use it for repairing camping gear and flexible rubber things, bike stuff, all that sort of thing. So I'm going to initially squidge it around these front edges to seal these in, and then I'm going to weight these down, and hopefully that will work. So I'm just going to do these front edges for the moment. Need to get some more newspaper. And if that looks like it takes, then I'll finish off the rest of the shoe with it. I only have a small tube, so I want to do the really important edges around here first. So this one doesn't need mixing, it comes as it is. So let's give this one a go and see what happens as well. That was quick and easy. Don't get much in a tube. I'm not going to get the whole shoe done with these, I don't think. But if this works, I don't mind buying another one, because this tube was only about £2.95 off of eBay, free postage. So if it works, I will get another one. Okay, so I'm going to let all of that harden. If this resin works, I might use this on the rest of the black shoes to save me having to buy any more, because I have 4 sets of this. Right, that's that stage of the job done. Cup of tea time, I think. Okay, the epoxy's had some time to go off on this, so I am going to get on and just slather more of the glue all the way around the outside of this boot. Still waiting for the other one with the heel stuck, so I'll do that one next, but I'm going to get on with this one now. I really enjoy the process of fixing stuff. I know that people just want to get new stuff and have done with it and throw things away and not have to bother with the process, but that's what I enjoy. I like fixing things. So like I fixed the bed, and now I'm fixing shoes. I get a satisfaction out of that. And it's partly to do with keeping the product going, the thing that I already own, the thing that I like, the thing that I don't want to change, because I don't get any joy in buying stuff anymore, to be honest with you. I don't want to waste my money on things that I don't need. If it was something that I really had to replace, like my laptop completely died or my smartphone completely died and there was no way I could repair it, then yes, I would have to go out and buy a new one or a refurbished one, something that worked. But when it's something that just requires a bit of glue or a screw, and perhaps a little bit of ingenuity to work that out, I enjoy that. So that's why I do those things. And it's like scratch cooking. It's building meals from nothing rather than going into shop, buying a plastic container full of some hermetically sealed, rather average thing and eating that. I like to create. I mean, I'm creative anyway in what I do in my work. You know, I write, I do fashion, I do jewellery and homeware. So I'm a creative person anyway. So why wouldn't I do that in everything? It's like growing my own crops. Few and far between though they are, I give it a go. I enjoy it. I like that process of creating something slowly. And that's just the way I am, I guess. So I've done another batch of gluing around my shoes, and we'll see how we get on. They'll get a test run at some point, but they need plenty of time to dry first, I think.